Hello everyone, and welcome to another look ahead at 2022. I did Meghan Markle's year ahead yesterday, and it looked like it was going to be quite a grim year for her. So today is the 30th of December 2021. I am looking at Prince Harry's year ahead. I am going to be doing a 12 card reading with an underlying energy for the year. 12 card reading based on the 12 houses of the zodiac, the astrological chart. It's a very simple way of covering a lot of ground in a reading, looking at all the aspects of a person's life one by one and seeing what could possibly be happening to them in the year ahead. Of course, tarot reading, of course, just for entertainment purposes, of course, or just my opinion. But let's have a look. I am using the same deck that I used for Meghan. I'm using just the standard Rider-Waite deck for this reading. One more shuffle, and then we will do our 12 card reading. The Ace of Cups has come out, come flying out. Put it back in, and maybe Prince Harry is going to have a new romance, but idle speculation on my part. I'm just being naughty, really. And let's see. 12 cards. I have to try and squeeze them all in, and I'll shuffle them around, move them a bit when we get to them, so that you can see them clearly. I will explain, of course, what the cards represent as I get to them. That's 8, 9, 10. There we are at the mid-heaven, the 10th house. Two more. 11 and 12. Prince Harry's year ahead, and the underlying energy is the King of Cups in reverse. My first impulse is that is Prince Charles, Scorpio man, water sign man, who is going to be very unhappy. Then we know that there is a book coming out which it looks like it is going to cause a lot of problems for Prince Charles in the coming year. This card could be that. I do think it is that. I don't ever see Prince Harry as the King of Cups. He very seldom comes across as a king energy in himself. First of all, a water sign, never. I don't think he's ever come across as a water sign for me. So I think that is unhappy father, the King of Cups, and of course also unhappy brother, potentially, with Prince William, also a water sign. So it looks as though things are going to go horribly in his relationship with Prince Charles. They're already pretty bad. I think it's going to get a whole lot worse in the year ahead. And no surprises there. It's just confirming things that we already know. And of course, snoring in the background again. Tess does like to join in these readings. I had a full house. The whole menagerie was here just before I started this reading. They all left. Tess has gone into a deep sleep. So that is what is going on in the background. So first card is the public persona, how the public is really going to perceive Prince Harry. And we get the 5 of Wands in reverse. Two ways of reading the 5 of Wands in reverse. Could be that the public is going to see him as somebody who is overly competitive, who's prepared to throw his own father to the lions, basically, and I think that is the true meaning of the 5 of Wands. Could also be that the public's going to see him as somebody who is wanting to give up the struggle, give up the fight, make peace with the people that he has been fighting with, but I don't think so. I think they're going to see him as being out of control, aggressive. That is what the 5 of Wands in reverse is. It is the card of infighting within a team, within a group, within a family, all competing, all trying to reach the top. Some people say it's combat training. You learn your skills in the 5 of Wands, so that in the 6 of Wands you achieve victory. I don't see it really that way myself. I do see it as unnecessary struggle and conflict. And yeah, so he's going to be coming across to the public as somebody who's fighting really for the sake of fighting, doing injury to this man in the heart of the reading. Whatever you think of Prince Charles as a man, it to me is pretty horrific, the way Prince Harry has treated him. So a second card in this reading is the money card, the earned income card, and the things that you value, the things that you own, you value, you possess. Ooh, Four of Swords in reverse. We had this in the Megan reading. This, I think, was the overall energy for the Megan reading, Four of Swords in reverse. So, Four of Swords is, of course, the card of healing, retreating, sitting quietly, meditating, contemplating, thinking things through. It's the card of defeat as well. It's in the reverse for Prince Harry in his money house. He's not going to get a chance to rest, to recover, to heal, to think. It's just going to be disaster after disaster after disaster. And it is also, as I always say, I feel like a stuck record with this card, the card of ruined reputation. And I get felt like someone squeezed my heart when I said that. Prince Harry looks like he is going to be in financial trouble next year, that he is going to suffer some defeat, some blows, some reputational harm. People are not going to trust him, count on him. He is going to be defeated in some way. It's really not going to go well for him financially, but more that this is not a money card so much as a reputation card, and a card that tells me he's going to be struggling, he's not going to be able to rest. He could in fact be quite ill with stress and worry over financial worries. So third card is the card of, among other things, siblings. I'm trying to focus this reading and try and I hope the universe listens to me. Oh, this is painful. This is painful, and I got a little bit choked up when I saw this. The Tower. Things with Prince William are just almost look terminal. They look so bad at this point. The Tower often comes up in Harry and Meghan readings, and it's them crashing to the ground, the bolt of lightning from the blue. It looks to me as if Prince William could finally have enough and cut Harry out at some level of the royal family, really officially, from what Prince Harry is going to be doing next year with the book and everything else that he seems to have planned, destructive things that he seems to have planned, all my opinion, all allegedly. But that's Major Arcana, that's brutal, that card, that is really real destruction there for Prince Harry and his relationship with his brother, with Prince William. I do think ultimately they will find some way forward. I don't think they will ever trust each other again, but they might work together at some stage. But that's long in the future from the cards that I have seen. It's not certainly in 2022, 2022. That's often a divorce card, the bolt of lightning from the blue. It's so when you weren't expecting it, suddenly the divorce papers are served. And on that subject, let's move on to the home. That's not the relationship so much as literally the home. How is life on the home front going for Harry in terms of the bricks and mortar of his home? Queen of Pentacles. That's the wife card. The Queen of Pentacles. I'm starting to laugh, but it's a nervous laughter because this is another horrific reading. The Meghan Markle reading yesterday was very bad, very negative, very difficult year ahead for her, according to the cards that I pulled yesterday. This is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is the loyal and devoted wife when she's in the upright, supportive, nurturing, kind, generous. In the reverse, she's taken away her support, her loyalty, her devotion, her help, her comfort. Home is going to be a very uncomfortable place for Prince Harry in 2022. The good wife is no longer there. The image of the good wife, the myth of the good wife, I think he's going to finally see through that and realize that he's not being supported in the way that he thought he was being supported. He's in fact being undermined. Queen of Pentacles in reverse is a nasty piece of work, and she really cold, indifferent, taken her support and her loyalty away somewhere else. Prince Harry is going to feel the icy winds blowing through that mansion in Montecito next year. Fifth house, fifth card, children. Other things, creativity, stuff like that, but children, ooh, a trap of his own making with the Eight of Swords. Prince Harry is in a trap, he's in a bind, he's made a mess of things. There is a way out. There's always a way out of the Eight of Swords if you just stepped forward instead of thinking that you were stuck. But he feels that he's stuck. He has got himself into a terrible mess with this alleged surrogacy, adoption, possibly, all kinds of things that people are suspecting with both children. That things seem to be quite dodgy, not the way that they are alleged to be, not the way that they are told to be. that there is something very difficult, very different, very dodgy on the go with those children. Prince Harry's made a mess of things and he is stuck. There is a castle in the background, of course, in this card, but the person in the foreground cannot see the card. They cannot see a way out. They're blindfolded. They're tied up and the swords are all around them, unless, of course, they just decide to take a chance and step forward and out of the mess that they have made. Prince Harry has got some work to do to get out of that mess with the children. And sixth house is the health and work, the day-to-day, the daily grind, the job. And of course, Prince Harry does allegedly have a job, at least one, a chimpo. Job as a chimpo. A ship's not sailing in, ship's not coming back. Plans to expand, to grow things, to prosper, all to no avail with the Three of Wands in reverse. Those ships are coming back empty or they're sinking in the stormy seas. They're not coming back, and the person in the Three of Wands is giving up waiting. His work life is not rewarding. Put it that way. It is not going to bring him the results that he thought it was going to bring him. It's not going to bring him the acclaim, the praise, because we're talking wands here. We're not talking pentacles. We're talking praise. We're talking PR. We're talking ideas and success and glory and all that stuff that wands represent. Not for Prince Harry. Not in 2022. It's going to be, it looks as if he's going to give up. Because the waiting, it's a waiting card, the Three of Wands, and when it's in the reverse, you give up waiting, can't be bothered anymore. It looks like he's going to quit certain of his jobs that he acquired during his first halcyon days of that Megxit, that we're not allowed to call Megxit anymore. And seventh house, the marriage. What's going on with the marriage in 2022? Ooh, Three of Cups in reverse. He's going to be drowning his sorrows because the party is over. And it does look as if they partied a lot. According to the French ambassador in London, there was non-stop partying, allegedly while Meghan Markle was heavily pregnant with Archie. The helicopters were flying in, the music was going all night, party, party, party. And in reverse, party's over for that couple in Montecito. We've seen it with the Queen of Pentacles. I said that the home is going to be a sad and lonely place for Prince Harry. He could be drowning his sorrows, but they've fallen out, or they will be falling out in the year ahead. They will not be enjoying each other's company. They will not be socializing together. They will not be having fun together. They will really, I think, be going their separate ways, avoiding each other. There's plenty of space in that house to avoid each other, and they'll be doing that. If Prince Harry has to go and sit in the chicken coop, then that's where he'll be. He could be there with a bottle of something to drown his sorrows, because the Three of Cups always for me is a drinking card. That and the Nine of Cups, heavy drinking card. So it doesn't look good on the marriage front. Eighth house, the death and taxes house. It covers all kinds of weird things, but let's see if we have any hint of what the eighth house and stunned and amazed. So this is exactly the same card that Meghan Markle got in her reading for the 8th house, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I'm 99.9% sure of that. I've seen a lot of cards yesterday and today, and cards in between these readings. But wow, Ace of Pentacles, they're in for a heavy tax bill. Audit in America. Lots of you out there watching this know all about things like that, and I'm not saying that you personally have been audited, but you know how the American tax system goes. Let's put it that way. I do not, and so I have heard nasty things about being audited by the IRS, and famous gangsters being brought down by the IRS, of course. Could it be that some of those charitable foundations are going to be investigated by the IRS? Twice, same card, same place. Looks like the Harkles are in trouble. As I said with Meghan Markle, also it represents the 8th house inheritances. So it looks as if money that the Harkles were expecting in 2022 is not going to be forthcoming from an estate. And of course, the late Prince Philip's estate, I'm sure their probate, whatever goes on in the UK, with administering estates, and that must all be still ongoing. And of course the will has been locked away for a very long time. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's many decades before it's going to be made public. It looks as if Prince Harry's been cut out of that will. Cut out of the will and got a rather large tax bill coming his way. Do I feel sorry for him? Not at all. Ninth house is the house of publishing and lawsuits, but publishing, of course, is the biggie for Prince Harry next year. He has a big book coming out, and there comes the book, the Eight of Wands, for sure. The book is coming out. It's going to come out in a rush of publicity. He's going to be all over the place next year. He's going to be on interviews. He allegedly is going to be hosting late night chat shows himself, James Corden's show, Prince Harry. He might appear on Ellen. He's going to be all over the place. He's going to be doing a signing tour. We are just never going to hear the end of this book. You're all going to be sick of the sight of it and the sound of it, because I'm going to be doing reading after reading on the book next year. If I'm still around and you're still around and YouTube is still around, it's coming. It's coming swiftly, and nothing is going to stop it at this point. There was talk that he'd been asked to delay publication until after the Jubilee. Doesn't look like it. People are now speculating that he might actually release it right on that critical weekend in June, where the Jubilee celebrations reach their climax in the UK. And if so, pity the tower isn't still in operation and is only now a tourist attraction, because one very upset King of Cups coming up next year. Oh, it's going to be awful, awful, awful. It's going to be so awful. 10th house, career, dealings with authority figures, could be dealings with the IRS, but really it's your career, your standing in the world. And Prince Harry is over it. He's over this trying to earn his own keep. He's had enough. The 10 of Wands in reverse. He is just burdened with it, and he is going to quit. I saw the quitting card here with the 3 of Wands in his day-to-day grind. He doesn't like it. He's not trained for it. He doesn't know how to turn up day after day and do something tedious. And for a small amount of money, even a large amount of money isn't going to interest Prince Harry. I think he has some allegedly developmental issues, probably has got problems, learning problems, and can't really sit at a desk and do something repetitive and, as I say, tedious. So he's going to quit, and very publicly, because the 10th house is your your career, how you come across to people in the world, your LinkedIn profile, that sort of thing. Prince Harry, 10 of Wands in reverse, giving up. Too much, too difficult, too boring, too not nearly glamorous enough, not nearly rewarding enough, hasn't made nearly enough money out of it, I don't think either, for all the grand claims, pronouncements of millions that they was allegedly earning. Taxman's coming after it anyway. That is the only pentacle we have seen in this reading, and it's in the reverse so far. So 11th house, just to wrap this up, we get into the slightly dull part of the reading now. The 11th house is, of course, your friends, your teams, the things that you feel, your causes that you like to espouse, shall we say. We get the Justice card, and it's a big deal because it's major arcana. So I think he's going to be bleating on next year about justice, about karma, about getting what you deserve. And of course, still I think playing that humanitarian card, the racist card, all of those cards for all they're worth with this, and pretending to care about things that I don't think he really does care about, because I did that reading on him, Man Without a Mission, a few days ago. It's there in the Royals playlist, and I think it's all false myself, my opinion, allegedly, all of those words that I'm going to throw in there. But yeah, he's going to be going on and on and on about fairness and justice and things that are wrong in the world. Is anybody going to be listening? Don't know. 12th house is, of course, the secrets, the hidden issues, your shadow, your mental health things, what's going on. behind the scenes in your subconscious, really. 7 of Swords in reverse, and that is the no longer being able to run away from things, no longer being able to sneak away and ghost people and pretend that things don't exist that actually do exist. It's the sneak card, the coward card, the running away card, the stealing card. It's a horrible card when it is in the upright. When it is in the reverse, you get found out. You, because it's in the hidden energy, behind the scenes, he could be found out for certain things that he has done. And let's look at the 8 of Swords, which is the card that follows from the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords in the children house, 7 of Swords in the reverse, in the hidden energy, the bad things you've done and want to repress, that might be coming to light, might be exposed. It's the confession card. You confess when you've done a bad thing. The 7 of Swords in reverse. Some people could find out about it. Some people could know all kinds of dodgy things about Prince Harry. He himself could have to face some home truths about himself that he has been avoiding for years. Some ugly truths about himself and his shadow side and who he really is and what he really stands for, and perhaps even who he really married, because here she is, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Gold digger, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Absolute gold digger. And on that note, I've gone on for long enough, this reading, and looks like a very tough year from Prince Harry as well, but it looks like that book is going to come flying out and it is going to do enormous damage to Prince Charles and to Harry's relationship with his brother. Enormous damage that I think Harry is going to regret, because that tower that's going to come crashing down is going to come crashing down on Prince Harry. So, warning to Prince Harry. And on that very severe note, let me wish you well. I will try and come back and do some readings tomorrow. There's some rather salty topics that I still haven't got around to. May end the year on a salty note. But if I don't, I wish you all very well, that you have a very happy new year, and I will see you in 2022.